Hey yo, it's Danny and welcome back to the channel. Thank you for joining us today. We're going to be talking about the Flaxoff. Okay, no, it's just Faxon. I don't really know how to pronounce it. The name is irrelevant. This isn't a paid sponsorship. I definitely did pay for this. Now, if you're asking, just to get like ahead of everything, if the question that you're asking is whether or not the barrel is a good buy, yeah, I think it's a great value. And if you're just your average shooter, I think that your average person that carries a firearm and you know you want to upgrade your firearm, something real simple, something easy, anyone can do, you're gonna like this. It's pretty easy, pretty nice, and I think it's not a important upgrade, but it is a aesthetically pleasing upgrade. Okay, so with that out the way, goodbye, don't worry about it. It ain't gonna cost you that much anyway, so you have enough time to regret it and then make better buys or better investments in the future. That much is fair. Now, all right, it's good. It's good. So look, with the barrel, it's also fluted. If you haven't noticed, and it's really hot, so I'm sorry that I touched it. Fluted, threaded. It's an upgrade I've been waiting to do to the Smith & Wesson for a while now. One of the basic upgrades. I'm never going to really use a silencer or anything on this, but they do have a compensator. Whether or not I think that the barrel is a good buy is subjective, because value is always going to be interpreted by the person and how much resources they have. And if you have the resources, you probably wouldn't even be watching this video because you can afford to buy the most expensive. Better than that, you could probably have one milled custom for you because you're that well off. But for the majority of people out there that's just wanted to upgrade their firearm and have a aesthetically pleasing firearm, I think that this is a good option out there in the system. Though one of the things that I think makes the barrel stand out to me is the fact that they have sales, and like really good sales, and they support like law enforcement, military, and all these folks. You reach out to them, they definitely take care of you, and overall they're good. Now, I bought this barrel like 3 times, so 3 times can be a mistake. The first time I bought them, they were like, I think they were like rejects, but not so much, but they worked. They had like cosmetic issues. The last one I bought for the Smith & Wesson, it was actually just a regular barrel. It like needed to get broken into or something like that, like broken in. So I had to send a couple of rounds down range in order for it to, you know, shoot dependably. But if you're gonna change the barrel on any firearm, it's highly recommended that you take it to the range and send some rounds down range to make sure that your EDC can EDC, because the last thing you wanna do is buy a firearm and then boom, it don't work, right? That'll be the scariest thing, the scariest day of your life. Might be the last day. The last and the scariest day of your life. So you want to make sure you are buying something that you tested, regardless of how much you spent. Get some rounds down range and make sure it's working. When I initially got the firearm, because let me see, I don't know if it's gonna do it, but it used to like stick, like it'll stick like this. All right, let's see. Yeah, it used to stick like this, like and then it would catch. After I took it to the range and I sent a couple of rounds down range, it seemed to have broken in relatively nicely, and I don't really have that issue anymore. In fact, it'll be real difficult for me. It kind of did it right here. You see, it's really difficult for it to do it now, but before I could put it upside down, maybe it'll do it. I'm not gonna waste your time. Before I would have did it, you gotta take my word for it, but it broke in quite nicely, and I was able to like, you know, send it down range. The weapon is clear, you know, there is no magazine, no magazine. It's fluted as well, so nice little caveat. No one ever notices that, and I think people flute their firearms for weight, but we don't know. We're just getting this because it looks tactical, and you know, I like it. Now, one of the things that you want to make sure you do, like aside from like, if you're gonna do this upgrade to your firearms, you want to make sure you have the right holster, because you don't want the barrel digging into your skin, especially if you're not used to wearing a firearm that has if your holster it's built for like the, okay, so this is a Smith & Wesson 2.0. There's a larger Smith & Wesson, it's in the safe and I can't get to it right now, which just has a longer barrel, but my holsters are for my longer Smith & Wesson, so I'm able to like use this barrel with that holster. Same thing goes for my Glock. All of my Glock holsters are for the Glock 19. The Glock 17. And then I'm able to put like a Glock 45 or a Glock 19 in it and have no issues if I put a threaded barrel on it. Now, I'm never gonna get a silencer or anything like that on it. Well, never say never, but I don't plan on getting a silencer or anything like that. I just like how it looks. They do provide like a compensator you can use if you're really into that kind of stuff. But right now I'm not there. I'm just really EDC in these firearms. It's just my everyday carry, taking it to the range and making sure they work. So I don't really need a compensator at this point in my journey, but it is definitely an option. Given the fact that everybody wants a Ramjet and they're always sold out, you might end up having to go with more affordable companies like Faxon. I think the compensator for this is, I don't know the price. I'm not even gonna start lying. So I don't know the price. So, but it's cheaper. It's cheaper than a Ramjet for sure. Cheaper than that other brand. And I was about to buy it, but they always sell out. They're always selling out. I want to buy it because it's cool to have, but like I said, as in terms of carrying, not gonna do it. You want to make sure you take it to the range and you're sending a couple of rounds down range first, making sure it work with your holster, making sure that there are no cracks or any imperfections or defects that might hinder the firearm from working correctly. The last thing you need to do is have a ticking time bomb in your, pelvic area. One company already got that covered. We don't need anyone else adding to, that niche of definitely dangerous firearms to both the owner and people who try to violate the owners. So with that said, if you're in the market, it's that simple. This is all for like aesthetic purposes, really. There's no legitimate reason to EDC a firearm with a threaded barrel, in my opinion, other than it just looks really dope. It looks really good. So there is no point in really adding a threaded barrel other than keeping the look of your firearm to look relatively nice to you, because you're the only one that matters. So, and the barrel is cheap enough for you to play around with it. Pause. Like, when I say that, I mean like to make a purchase and then see if you like it and then know your standard of quality. Do I have firearms that more expensive barrels? I do. I actually do. But this one is for my EDC purposes. I gotta stress that. I can't stress that enough. For EDC purposes, this is a great barrel. All right, really nice, really affordable, good value. So far, I had no issues whatsoever with the quality of it, and I would definitely recommend it if you're thinking about it and you're just trying to have a fight. Now, I never carried it with a suppressor or a compensator, so if that's what you're looking on doing, I think you need to do a little bit more research. I haven't gotten there yet, and I'm not interested right now. But if that time comes, I'll definitely let you know how I feel about it. I said it once, I'll say it again. I'll definitely know how I feel about it. I can't stress enough. If you're just thinking about putting a compensator or a silencer on it, that's a different animal. But if you just want it to look cool, then I think that you're gonna enjoy this particular barrel. I do have a complaint though. I really don't like the logo on it. I just feel like it's overkill. I do like the little logo they have on the top, but I'm not a fan of the logo on the side, or that's really it. The fluted barrel. Now, if you have a firearm that's ported on a slide, you might be able to enjoy the machining that they put into this. But if you don't, you're never gonna see it, other than when you're cleaning it. Make sure that your slide also works with any new anything that you add on your firearm. You want to make sure it works with the brains. You want to make sure it works with the brains, then the body, and everything is seamless, because no issues. It didn't do it. That's why you take it to the range. Like I said, take it to the range, try it out, make sure it works. You gotta make sure it works. Well, no matter what you get, no matter what you buy, it has to work. You gotta remember that. You gotta shoot your firearm. There's a lot of people out there that actually do not they buy a new firearm and they wait a long time to use it. They actually carry it and never, ever really shoot it. That's crazy. This thing can blow up. You are aware of that, right? It can hurt you. So you need to make sure in a controlled environment that the firearm will work the way you expect it to work, okay? I'm stressing that because there's a lot of people out there that do it, and you might know someone, you might be that someone. That's a very dangerous thing to do, okay? Listen, I don't want to hold you too long because we got other things to do. So until I see you on the next one.